Good morning. Oh my goodness. I hope it rained here last night. I hope you're having a great day. And it rained here last night. And so the mosquitoes are in full vengeance this morning. Uh, all right. Got the puppy going. I mean, I'm not quite going yet. How's your day? Wednesday. Uh, it's really interesting because the one thing I'll say when we start doing any type of mindset work and we're focusing on it, and I know I mentioned this concept already, but what we focus on, we create more of. So when we're really putting a focus on our emotional triggers or let's say upper limits or any challenges or the things that we're noticing in our mindset, we just start to notice it more, right? Because we're putting a focus on it. So last week, I was full of energy. It was insane. I was really excited. I was like, okay, I got my new routine. The kids are back in school. I kicked this series off. I was really full of lots and lots of energy. And this week, not so much, a lot less actually. And yesterday, I think I was in bed by about 8:30. So it is really when we can be the observer, so to say, when I can look at my circumstance without a judgment, neutrally, and almost from like a third person perspective. It's very interesting what we can really notice and get curious about. This week, talking about emotional triggers, and Monday, we really just introduced the concept. What is it? And then yesterday was more around strategy of, what, how to like start to think about when are we anticipating them? How do we, I had a therapist, gosh, 10 years ago. She was one of my favorites. And she used to say, like, the thought's coming. How can you start to see the thoughts coming versus just reacting to whatever that is? And so, because I love action, Wednesdays we're going to always have a little action item. So, what is the plan? How can you create an action plan for triggers? So, sometimes it's just going to be in the moment, it's just going to be a reaction. But sometimes, a lot of times, truly, we can start to think about any type of emotional triggers once we're starting to identify them. So, what if you tuned in on Monday and on yesterday, then we can start to identify them and really get clear on which ones start to pop up for us, how they show up, in what forms. And so today is really this action plan. So if this, then this. If I'm noticing, I've been using the example around social media, but there's that's just one example of many. If I am on social, I'm going to have boundaries. My boundaries get to look like clearing out my social feed. They also get to look like grounding myself in the beginning, grounding myself before I even get on, and reminding myself, okay, I love it, and I know sometimes it can be a trigger for me, so I'm going to be really present in my body. I'm not going to completely zone out. That's the action plan. And when I start to feel a certain way, oh, mosquitoes. When I start to feel a certain way, I'm committing to jumping off. I'm committing to reaching out to a friend or support or getting community or accountability around whatever the thing is, whatever the trigger can be. So this is really today more going like a concrete action plan. What is your action plan? If you are committed to growing your mindset, if you're committed to, what I would say, like living your best life, living a life by design, which is definitely something that I am committed to, that I teach my clients to do, and that I talk about a lot within my own accountability and my coach. So I really invite you to do the same because number one, it's possible. And number two, yeah, it takes work, but it takes what I would call just consistent attention. You know, I'm writing an email this morning, and I'm going to be sending it out to my email list, and it talks about, you know, working on your mindset is like showering. Like, you don't just do it once. You do it consistently. Well, most, like, if you do, I guess. So, what is your action plan around managing your mindset? Think about how can you be proactive, and how can you have a plan in place for when it happens, because it's going to happen. I'm going to let you in on one. Let's see, I'm trying to think of the right word. Like, truth bomb that I didn't know in the beginning, and that it's this. No matter how consistently you work on yourself, you're always going to have your old shit come back. It shows up in different ways. And I remember when I first started doing the work, I used to think, okay, oh gosh, oh my gosh, I realized I don't think I'm not good enough. Whatever. Like, that was definitely a prevailing thought. Oh, I realized I don't feel like I'm good enough. And I thought I would do some work, and those feelings and thoughts would just be gone. And I would just wake up and be like, oh, I always feel good enough. But what I learned was that always comes back. I manage it with my mind, but those old beliefs are like hardwired into my system, and they come up from now and again. Not like they used to. They don't stop me like they used to, but they definitely still come up. And in the beginning, I used to get frustrated and think, oh God, I'm still dealing with this? What the hell? I've been working so hard, or I've been doing all of, this focused effort. And here we are again, right back at the beginning. But the truth is, they don't always go away. They're hardwired, right? So it's a matter of managing them. And, the better we manage them, the more we focus on it, the easier it is, the quicker we notice it and can get on top of it, and to be able to experience those feelings, but also to create a shift in them. So the work never stops. Sorry, not sorry, but I just really wanted to get real with you today. I have to show you my dog. Oh God, come here. Can you see her? Oh, she's so crazy. She gets, I've been noticing there's these little leaves that are really sticky here, and they get stuck to her fur, and then she hates feeling them, so she rolls around and like tries to rub them off, and it doesn't ever work. It's so funny. Anyway, she's enjoying her mindset morning walks very much, and so am I. So today, I really invite, how can you think about the past 2 days, what we've been talking about? What are your emotional triggers? What do you notice them coming on? And what is the plan you're going to have? And you can write it down, but you can also just have something in your back pocket to say, oh, I noticed that this is my trigger. So if I'm doing this thing that I do know that I enjoy, that sometimes can trigger me, maybe it's family. Sometimes that happens, right? So saying, like, what boundaries can I start to have for myself, and action I can create in order to, I don't know, mitigate those feelings, and or let those triggers not all of a sudden come up and surprise us out of nowhere. All right. I hope you're having a great week so far. Happy hump day. And I will be back tomorrow morning.